everybody's just about done with their dinner. Could we have a round of applause for Ozark Cafe, please? Wonderful job, as always. And this event tonight put together by Ozark Radio Network and Ozark Marketing Company. And also, we always give a round of applause to the folks that put this thing in motion and organized it. And a big thanks to our boss at Ozark Marketing Company, Crystal Cook. Let's give Crystal a nice hand. All right, we're going to jump right into it. The procedure looks like we'll call a particular team. When you hear your names being called, just go ahead and get up and start up here. You don't have to wait for me to get done. And then as the coach talks about their two players, the two players will stand over here behind the table. In the past we've done pictures, but we're not doing photos tonight. We're just doing video, and it's right back there in the back. And again, if you have relatives or friends, or if you want to look at it on YouTube, go to the Ozark Radio News YouTube page, and it will be posted there. It'll be posted on our website as of tomorrow. So, oh, for individuals, if you've got people that want to take a photo of the people with their awards, that's great. You've got a space over here to do that if you want to, or you can always do that when we get done. Totally up to you. Okay, let's get to it. We'll start, and we'll just follow the order that we have on our program tonight. The Highland volleyball team is not here tonight, at least that was my understanding, but we're happy to have the Highland football team here tonight. Their head coach is Sterling Stowers. The athletes are Gabe Hightower and Braden Burns.
Good evening. Obviously, I'm a little overdressed for being here for the first time. I see all the coaches in their school attire. Live and learn. The Highland Road football program would like to thank the Ozark Radio Network for inviting our players and our program to this special event. This season we were able to compile a record of 7-4, conference runner-up, and a playoff appearance for the first time since 2017. Brady Burns on the left, or your right, and Gabe Hightower were a huge part of our success. I've been blessed to be around these guys since 7th grade. And not only football players, but these guys are great young men. They're great mentors to our younger athletes. And these are two guys that you want around your program for the development of your program in a positive manner. Gabe will continue his playing career next year at Lyon College there in Batesville, Arkansas. So good luck to Gabe. Again, thank you guys for allowing us to be here. Have a great night.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and mention the Highland volleyball representatives for this year. We've been Bridget Sullinger and Bailey Nicholson and Coach Joe Beth Webb as the head of the program, of course. And Joe Beth has been to all of these since we got started. All right, we're going to move down now to Ava Volleyball. Their head coach is, oh, by the way, let me mention we've got some bags here for the Bank of Houston. And along with your plaque, when you leave up here, then make sure you take one of those with you. Okay, Ava Volleyball, head coach Bailey Loge, and the players Mallory Melton and Maggie Potter.
Hi everyone, thanks again for having us. I have two really special girls here. This has been my 4th year coaching, and both Maggie and Mallory are seniors, so they've been with me literally since day one of my coaching career, and that's just something special about these two, on top of just how special they are as individuals. They're the type of girls that just balance school and work life and clubs and activities and bands and raising money for charities, and they are just these phenomenal, well-rounded ladies that have been fabulous leaders for our program, wonderful team captains. They include the freshmen. They are eager to help out. They're the first ones on the floor setting up the net and the last ones to leave the gym to do whatever needed. And I couldn't think of two better young ladies to lead and be an example for all of our girls. Even in the middle school, they show up and they're known, and it's like you can't talk to them without smiling. They just have this infectious joy about them and this hardworking attitude, and I could go on and brag all day about these two, but it's been a tremendous blessing having them as my players and getting to know them as individuals and just seeing how much they've poured into our community, into our program, and I cannot wait to see all the amazing things that they do from this point forward. So thank you for everything, Maggie and Mallory.
All right, next up is Bulldogs. Kabul Bulldogs. And Coach Tyler Spittler, along with his two players, Tyler Fleetwood and Logan Walls.
Thanks for having us. As he said, I've got Logan and Tyler up here with me. These guys were both selected to be first team All-Staters the other day, so super proud of them for that. And that's not why they were chosen. They've had several awards along the way, been 3-year starters on pretty much both sides of the ball. They've played a lot of football for us over the years. But their senior class is one of the more successful senior classes in Kabul football history, and these two are the main reason why. There are leaders. There are what coaches call program guys. One of them's more vocal than the other. Tyler's going to be the guy that's going to get after you and chew you out for not doing what you're supposed to do. And Logan's just a lead by example kind of guy. But Logan's stepped up a lot more vocal this year, so we're super proud of him. But these guys are great. They're going to be very successful later on in life, and I just was happy to coach them. We're going to miss them a lot. They were really good for us, so super proud of them.
Well, volleyball was not able to attend, but the players, Lakaya Reese and Hannah Jansen. So big congratulations to them. Wish they could be here. Up next, we're going to stay in Texas County. You know, when the Bulldogs beat the Tigers in the Battle of Texas County, it's always a lot of fun. But head coach Eric Sloan and his two players, Brady Brookshire and Wyatt Hughes.
Like the other coaches, just thank you for having us. For everybody that's had a part in this, this is awesome to get here and to come honor kids. I have Brady Brookshire on my right, and right here is Wyatt Hughes. Both were forced into action a little bit as a freshman. They've been 3-year starters on both sides of the football. They're the first ones in the building no matter what we're doing, whether it's 7-on-7 or workouts or just a team meeting. They're the first ones there and the last ones to leave. Brady has been an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman. If you look at him, he's lost about 80 pounds since 6th grade. So this year we got to do a lot of different things with him. We put him in the backfield. He was our second fastest guy. We were able just to do a lot with him. He's a great athlete. Played linebacker for us, kind of got us aligned where we were supposed to be. Wyatt has been a 3-year starter as our quarterback and as a safety, so he talks all the time. He's our vocal leader, gets us lined up and exactly what we're supposed to be doing. I think both these guys are going to go to trade school. They're blue-collar guys, so they're going to be very productive members of society, and as a coach, that's exactly what you're looking for.
And now for the Houston Lady Tiger volleyball team, coached by Julia Sloan, and her players, Anna Gale and Angie Smith.
Thanks again for having us. I brought two girls with me, Ann Gale and Angie Smith. This year we went 26-8-1. We were district champs this year. I'm going to talk about Ann Gale first. She's just a great teammate. All around, one of those kids that she's a team first person. She didn't play a lot this year, but she knew her role and she didn't complain about it. She did her job, and she had no complaints. A little bit of stats, she had a 98.8 serve percentage. She's going to go into nursing school, and she's already flying into that here at Houston. We're excited for her future, and she's going to do great things. So that's Anna Gale. Next, Angie Smith. I'm just going to say it, she's a stud. She finished the year with 507 kills. That was third in Class 2 in the state. She got her 1,000th kill this year, and she got her 1,500th dig this year. So that's a lot in her career. She was SCA Player of the Year, first team All-State, and first team All-District. So overall, she's just a great kid, and she hasn't figured out what she's going to do yet, but we're still working on that. So I'm just excited to see what she does. So thank you.
And now we're going to Liberty, Mountain View Birch Street. We'll start with volleyball. Head coach Sherry Toon, and this year's players Bree Daniels and Macy Tharp.
Thank you guys for having us. I'm going to stand up here. I'm just going to tell you, I brought these girls just to prove to the world that I could survive coaching them. So I know you guys are bragging girls or athletes to say that you can brag about what they're doing, but I'm bragging about myself that I survived coaching them. So that's why I brought them. No, I'm just kidding. But I do have a 4th grade story about both of them. It's ironic. So in 4th grade, Macy Tharp, in a volleyball game, runs underhand serve, hits her in the face. She's super shy and timid. Jim is quiet, and we hear Dad yell, "Macy, suck it up, you're fine." Tears start flowing. It's a great example of me coaching her for all 4 years. She's very stubborn, ton of potential. It's like I had to pry it out of her. I remember calling her parents one time her sophomore year, and I was actually in tears because I saw her sprint for the first time, like super sprint, and it brought tears to my eyes. So that 4th grade story is exactly how it was coaching her. I just dug and dug and dug and dug, and I think this year was a great example of finally getting to see her step out of her comfort zone. She's running our record books at Liberty this year with the assists, and she's actually decided for the last couple of weeks that she's going to pursue her career in volleyball, so she's got a couple offers and trying to make decisions there. Bree's 4th grade story fits perfectly too. Yeah, so she was going through a drill, decided she didn't want to do anything. She was walking around, rolling her eyes. I said, "Bree, why are you here?" "Because my mom made me." So I knew Mom. Me and Mom are friends. So I called Mom and I said, "I just kicked your 4th grade daughter out of practice. Come get her." So that's been a great story for Bree too. Most talented kid by far in my 17 years that I've coached. Is the biggest perfectionist with herself. Completely scared to step out of her comfort zone because she's scared of disappointing herself. Every stat that she has at Liberty Volleyball, every skill she did, she's in the top 5. Most of the Liberty record book is going to have her name in it. I pray every day that she learns to embrace failure because she's got a lot of potential, and her life would be so awesome if she would just accept that it's okay to make mistakes. I think she's getting better at it, but she still has a long ways to go. These girls brought back the SCA trophy this year. We hadn't had one since 2018, so they got to bring that back. And then as seniors, they got to have 4 district championships. So it was a great season for us, and I'm super proud to bring them. And I'm always their biggest fan. So thank you guys for having us.
Liberty Eagle football. And, you know, I mean, these first-year coaches are like, well, what do we do? Now you get it, you know, you just watch a few and you got it. But first-year coach Jansen Ackland and his players, Carter Pruitt and Brody Rutledge.
Thank you guys for having us, putting on this special event for these kids. We got seniors Carter Pruitt and Brody Rutledge. They've both been 4-year starters for us on both sides of the ball. And these two guys have had some of the most successful careers in our school's history. They've been starters for 35 total wins, 8 of those being playoff wins, 2-time district champions, our first conference championship since 2016. They've both been selected 3 times to the all-conference, all-district, and all-area teams. This year, Brody had 111 tackles, and he ends his career with 257 career tackles, along with 24 tackles for loss and 14.5 sacks. He's also selected All-State linebacker for the 2nd year in a row. Carter Pruitt ends the season with 3,500 all-purpose yards and 44 total touchdowns. He also set the school record with 361 rushing yards in a game, and also set the career rushing yards record with 3,877 career rushing yards. So these two guys, they've been incredible leaders for us and had very successful careers, and I appreciate everything they did for our program, and no doubt they're going to be successful men in the future.
Okay, going down the line, let's move over to volleyball for Mountain Grove High School. Their head coach is Ashley Martin. Their players for this year are Rayleigh Stenzel and Josie McPherson.
Thank you guys for having us. These two are quite special to me. This is my 4th season at Mountain Grove, and like Bailey touched on earlier, Josie's class, she was a senior. She's been a part of that program since I've been there, so that's just an extra special bond that's kind of unexpected as a coach until you actually go through that. But first up, I'm going to talk about Josie. She's a senior for us. She was our setter. A lot of times I refer to those little girls as our quarterback. So just a little bit about Josie. She is the most competitive spirit you will ever find. She'll do almost anything to win. And she's only set for me for 2 years, and with that, her numbers are insanely impressive. She's finishing her career with 1,800 assists in just 2 seasons, 600 digs, and almost 200 kills. A little bit of her accolades that she has acquired in her 4 years with me. She's been first team all conference for the last 2 years, first team all district for the last 2 years. She finished 6th in the state in class 3 this year with her assist totals, and then yesterday she was awarded her all-state honor. And we don't have a first team, second team, all-state for volleyball. We just do top 30 in the state for that class. So she is a top 30 athlete in the state of Missouri. So very proud of her, love her to death, Josie McPherson. My next athlete that I chose is Rayleigh Stenzel. A lot of people call her Riley on accident. I'm not going to do that, Rayleigh. If you know her, you know that she is a coach's dream. She's been naturally blessed with talent, and she's everything a coach could want. A little bit about her statistics. She ended her junior year with 597 kills on the season. She has 82 aces just for this year, and she finished with 351 digs. She hit her 1,000th kill milestone about a month into season. She still has another season under her belt, and I have no doubt that she's gonna shatter every record that Mountain Grove holds right now currently, especially going best out of 5. She currently sits at a little over 1,400 kills on her career, and like I said, she's got one more year to add to that. Some of her past accolades include she's been a first team all conference all 3 years as a freshman, sophomore, and junior. First team all district all 3 years, freshman, sophomore, and junior. She was a conference player of the year as a sophomore, and she was also awarded her all-state honor yesterday, top 30 in the entire state. So this is Rayleigh Stenzel, Josie McPherson. I couldn't be more proud of them.
Mountain Grove Panther football. They had a fine year this year. And the head coach is Brandon Rogers, and the athletes are Carson Allen and Caden Richardson.
Thank you for hosting. I got Caden Richardson and Carson Allen. They're very similar. They're both leaders of our team. I'll talk about Caden for a second. He's a first team all conference guy, first team all area, first team all district, and has been for the last 2 years. He's been a huge part of our offense and defense. One thing I could say about him, this year he played center, guard, and tackle. It's just wherever we needed him. There was times this year where he would move the tackle to guard and vice versa. He was just a leader of our team, and he knew our scheme. And a great player for us. He's an Iron Panther, 4 years. He's also a 1,000-pound guy. He's a bench squat and clean, 1,000 pounds. So that's a huge honor. I'm very proud of him. Carson Allen, first team all conference tight end, last 2 years, all district, all area. Carson, he started every game since his freshman year with the exception of the first one. And he started offensive line 2 years. We moved him to tight end. And then this year he played tight end until about halfway through the season. I said, Carson, you gotta go back to line. I'm sorry. And he took it like a teammate would, and I appreciate that. Both of these guys are gonna go on to play college. Caden's gonna play college baseball. Carson's gonna play college football. They're great teammates, and I'm thankful to coach them.
All right, that takes us to Mountain Home. And on the volleyball side, head coach Jill Daves, and players for this year are Anna McCarn and Mia Jones.
Coach Davis isn't here, so I'll talk a little bit about Anna. You gotta help me now. Okay, you're a 2-year starter, right? Yes. 2-year starter. You can tell by the height she can slam the ball. Okay. No, that's not what you call it, kills. Anyway, she can slam the ball. And she's a 2-sport athlete for us, 3-sport athlete for us. She's a good basketball player too. But hey, our girls, that's one thing we take pride in Mount Home's our volleyball, and she does a fantastic job. And obviously, being a tall girl, she's got to get in there, and she's got to hit the ball for us. And I wish I could say more. Do you have any stats? I'm glad you're here. She's well deserving. She's a good kid. She works hard. She works hard at basketball too. So this is Miss Anna McCarn.
Football time now for Robert Dover and Gray Pageant from the Mountain Home Bombers. And here's their coach, Steve Eric.
enjoy this for just a second because here in a couple weeks we'll have our banquet. We'll have 74 guys to talk about, and you just run them through there like cattle. You know what I mean? See how quick you can get them through. But I get a chance to talk about these guys. Both of these guys are very special. Robert's the big guy on the right. Gray's the guy on the left. I'm going to start with talking about Robert real quick. So I went to Walmart today. I'm doing some shopping. Got a couple little guys I'm being Secret Santa for, and some guy comes up to me, some older gentleman. He says, "Coach, you're doing a great job." He said, "I run onto some of your guys before the Harrison game, right there in I don't know where they ate, but at some eating establishment." And he said, "These kids nowadays," he says, your boys just shocked me." He says, I don't know who he is, but he's a foster boy, and he was talking about the Air Force, and which Air Force had offered him a scholarship. But anyway, he's just talking on and on about how respectful Robert was, you know. And that's the one thing I wanted to get with these guys. These guys are both linemen, and you always get the skills. Coach Ackland says, "Make sure you mention me." So I'm going to mention Coach Ackland, okay? And I'll get to that in just a minute. But anyway, both these guys are linemen. They do the dirty work. Every day the paper comes out, they don't talk about the guys up front. They don't talk about the defense. All they do is talk about the touchdowns and the passes and the runs and all the offense. So when we talk about Robert, he's got a story. He's had every chance to blow it. He's had every chance to take the other path. He's had every chance to just not get it, but the guy's got it. You know what I mean? Through his faith and his character. He's a 3-sport athlete. All-state in track as well. He's a basketball player. But just an incredible football player and an incredible person. So when you talk about stats, I don't know what y'all know about football. But anyway, I'm going to give you his stats real quick. 82 tackles this season. 30 tackles for loss, 11 sacks. He's all-state. Had 11 quality offers, FBS, FCS, Division II. I mean, the good ones. Harding's playing a national championship, Penn State, Central Missouri, Northwest Missouri State. But he's going to go to Southeast Missouri State is where he committed, so he's going to be a Southeast Missouri State. But, you know, just one of these guys that makes the best out of any opportunity that comes his way. And you guys, adversity, that young man right there's got it, he's had it, and he's delivered. And don't ever let adversity beat you down, because you're in charge of all of it. You got that, athletes? And congratulations to all of you, by the way. Anyway, that's our defensive end. He's an all-state football player 2 years in a row. But he's just amazing, and probably one of the top 3 players to ever come out of Mount Home, Arkansas, Robert Dolan. My second guy, Gray Padgett, we was talking a while ago. He was a 170-pound kid, and we said, not big enough to play, just not big enough. Had to go to the dinner table. Mom and Dad had to get a second job to feed him. But anyway, he started this year at 225. Started every game for us. Now here's where Coach Ackland comes in, so we're going to throw Coach Ackland's numbers out here. But he blocked for a 1,400-yard running back. He protected a quarterback that threw for over 2,000 yards. Offense went over 4,500. But again, it's just who he is that makes him. He's a team-first guy. Had a kid whose house burnt down, and he wanted to help him out, so he started a GoFundMe page, and he made that family $3,100. And what really fires me up is he's gonna be one of our greatest, one of my heroes, and he's enlisted in the U.S. Air Force. So congratulations, Gray Padgett.
you get to hear stuff like that at events like this, which to me really makes it worth it. Let's move on now to West Plains Volleyball. The head coach is Haley Beasley, and her players Maddie Houston and Miley Adams.
Hello, thank you for having us, and congratulations to all the players who are here today. This year was a big step in the right direction for our program. We got 20 wins for the first time since 2017, and this year's success happened because our team was really intentional in the off-season and throughout the season about our team culture. These two players represent our culture and our core values really well. They both work hard on the court and in the classroom. They're both great teammates, great players, and great people. I'll go with Miley first. Miley is a sophomore. She plays middle for us. She's not the tallest. I think when people see her, they probably don't think she's a middle, but she can jump out of the gym and she's super quick. She does a really nice job on both sides of the ball. She led our team in the highest hitting percentage and led our team in blocks. We were in a really tough district this year, and she made honorable mention all district. She also earned academic all Ozark conference, and she will earn academic all state. Miley is just getting started, and we know she's going to do big things the next 2 years. Next is Maddie Houston. Maddie is a senior. She played outside for us and played 6 rotations. Maddie lettered all 4 years. This year she led our team in aces and digs. She had the second most kills on our team. She earned second team all district and second team all Ozark conference. She also received academic all conference and will earn academic all state. Maddie is tough. She doesn't like talking about or being known for her injuries, but I think it's important to know how much she's overcome. Maddie tore both of her ACLs throughout her high school career and didn't let that slow her down one bit. She leaves a legacy of strength and resilience that will forever impact Zizzer volleyball, and we know she's going to do big things in life. Thank you, Maddie.
Two groups of people that like to talk about stuff. It's grandparents talking about their grandkids and coaches talking about their players. And it's fun to hear these coaches talk a little bit about what makes these kids, in many cases, so special. Now, West Plains football. Here comes the head coach of West Plains, Joel Wyatt, and he brought with him 2 kids that can flat out catch the ball, Briggs Houston and Rylan Kinslow.
First of all, I want to start by thanking Harlan and Gary for putting this on, along with Ozark Radio Network and Raymond Edding and Ozark's Cafe, and all they do for this event. As Harlan said, 2 guys that can really catch the football. These 2 guys can. They broke a lot of records. Football started in 1925 in West Plains, and so you're closing in on 100 years of football. These guys, just to give you some of their statistics and the records they set. First of all, Briggs Houston, he's the 6'6" guy here. He had the most receiving yards in a season with 1,080 yards, 20 touchdowns. Both of those were school records. He did have the record for receptions in a season with 58, and then Rylan broke that. Briggs also has the most receiving yards in a football game with 257. That thing may stand forever, 257 yards receiving in a game. And then Rylan, second year of playing high school football. You obviously would not have known that but by the way he plays the game. 13 catches in a game, which was a record. 65 catches on the season, which is a school record as well. So 2 big record setters and all kinds of awards and acknowledgments. Briggs is a second team All-State, which came out yesterday in Class 4, second team All-State receiver. All Ozarks came out today, and Briggs was a first team All Ozarks receiver, which is really the highest honor you can give because it's all 6 classes combined. And out of all 6 classes, that's saying Briggs Houston is one of the best receivers in the area, classes 1 through 6. Statistically, like I said, Ryland had 65 catches, 977 yards. So, we're looking at 2,000 combined receiving yards, which is very unheard of. We had to throw the ball a lot. We had a lot of new young faces on the line, and then when you got these guys right here, you try to play to your personnel, and these guys are very good at catching the football. We had our all-district meeting Wednesday, which voted on by the coaches, and both of these guys were unanimous first team all Southwest Missouri Football Coaches Association receivers. So that's an accomplishment and achievement in itself when you have 2 guys get unanimous votes by every area coach in the Class 4. They're both going to go on to play college football. Briggs is committed to the University of Northern Iowa, and Ryland's looking at a couple schools. He's visited Evangel this past weekend, and he's going to take a visit to Benedictine, and who knows, there may be some more that come along. All the things they've done on the offensive side, they were both all-conference second teamers on the defensive side as well. They get all their glamour for what they do offensively, but they're good on the defensive side. Ryland's a great return man as well. They both received honors on that side of the football. But with all that being said, they're, even if you take away all the accolades, they're 2 great kids, captains of our football team, leaders by example, 2 guys that love to practice. Every coach in this room has those players that don't like to practice. Don't worry, coach, when the lights come on, I'll be there, I got you. And those guys drive me nuts. I didn't have to worry about with these 2. They love to practice, they love to work their craft, they love catching the football, they love figuring out, hey, what are we putting in this week, what are we going to be running. They love helping me, how can we get open, what can we do. So I'm going to miss that part of it during timeouts or even at practice. Those guys in my ear telling me what we could do to get open. Just great kids, high character, and I do want to mention their family because I think that's where it starts. You guys know that as well as I do. Mike Kinslow, Christy Kinslow, Reagan Houston, thank you. Grandma, grandpas, and uncles, thank you. They got a great support system, and you guys know as well as I do that that's where it starts. So I appreciate all you guys have done, and they represent our school in the best of manners. And thank you guys.
Willow Springs Bears. We'll go with football. Head coach Travis Payne. Got to visit with Travis many times on the radio, and his 2 players, Aiden Stewart and John Jones.
Thank you, everyone, for your support for these 2 guys. These are 2 great character young men. We didn't have a lot of success on the field this year as a team, but we had a great character team, best group of kids I've ever been around coaching, and these guys were the cornerstone of that. They're great kids. They're everyday kids. Aiden came out for football for the first time this year, and day one, since he committed, had been here every day, did everything we asked, and became a leader of the team. John's the same way. John's the type of kid that if I say we're here at 7, he's there at 6:45 waiting for me to open the door. He's an everyday kid that puts the work in and tries to get better every day. John is the shorter one. He's our center and the leader of our offensive line. He makes our calls, does everything that we ask him to up front. And the thing about John this year is he was tough. He showed toughness. I remember a game where I carried him off the field. We were getting our next center ready to go, and I think he took one snap, and I was asking the guys on the headset, what do we do next? What are we going to do? And John runs out there and he's back on the field. And that, I mean, he put everything he could on the field. Aiden's another guy, like I said, it's his first year playing, and from day one, he was the leader of our team. He did everything we asked, came out, he had to play receiver, quarterback, probably running back, corner, safety, linebacker, had to play all kinds of multiple positions and did a great job. Thank you.
And Willow Springs Lady Bear Volleyball coach Christina Collins and her 2 athletes, Sydney Stewart, Caitlin Brixey.
Okay, I am also going to hit with Ava and Mountain Grove. This is my 4th year starting off. So I started with them. When I first started, our record was not very good. We ended up winning 9. This year, we turned it around. Caitlin has been with me for all 4 years. This is bittersweet for me. We lasted. She is my daughter. You guys know how it is if you coach your own kids, how hard it is. She's a lot like me, stubborn, and so thank God we lasted through it. So it's bittersweet, but we did it. When this year we ended up winning 21. So these 2 girls, I couldn't bring one without the other. They have played 2 years in a row. Caitlin knows her spot where to go. Sid is probably the talentedest player I had, but she's a little bit of everywhere. Sid is never in her spot. Most of the time, Caitlin has to yell at her and tell her where to go, what to do, if she's on the net or off the net. But this year, Sydney was a little bit of everything for us. I started out as a setter for her, but we had a couple girls gone, so then I ended up moving her as an outside hitter, and that's where she stayed. She never went back setter. She definitely stayed as an outside hitter. Next year, we will lose Caitlin. It's hard to replace your setters just because, you know, like you said, our quarterback is harder to get somebody in, helping them to know where your hitters wants the ball, how fast they need it, how high they need it. Every hitter's different. The thing is you got to have a setter that can adjust to every hitter. Sid, I'm not for sure where I'm going to put her next year. I don't know if I'll put her back setter. She played a little bit middle also with us, so I'm not for sure where she'll go. But Caitlin is going to pursue her career in cosmetology, hopefully hair school. And Sid has 2 more years to decide what she's going to do. But without these 2 girls on the court, we definitely would not have had the season that we had of winning 21 games. Sid will go far. Like I said, she is probably my best talented, smart, athletic that I have had. Height, she helps, you know, she knows when she needs to dump or when she needs to hit, anything like that. So she will definitely have a good 2 years to go. So thank you.
And we're going back across the border here, and again, I can't thank you, all of you, coaches, players, family, for coming and supporting this, especially the schools, Salem, Arkansas, just mountain home, and again, we just really, really do appreciate you guys and gals making the trek. We'll start with Salem Volleyball, Coach Leanna Smith, and her players Olivia Smith and Madeline Keene.
I was really trying to get our football coach to do this since Coach Airy did such a great job, but he wasn't gonna go for it. We went to state this year. Maddie and Olivia are both 4-year starters. They work hard on the court, off the court, in the classroom, community service. You're gonna see them anywhere around Fulton County. They are both setters, go all the way around. If you have huddle and you have huddle assist, it was really hard this year because with volleyball, it's seen from down, and huddle assist kept getting them confused the entire time, so I had to go back. Maddie always had her concussion band, so it was never a problem until this year. And I really can't say much because I spent about 5 minutes one day watching it, wondering why Libby was out of position, hitting her outside, and I finally realized that was Maddie. And to make matters worse, Libby's my daughter. So, but talking about Maddie, Maddie's a senior. Big deal, she was our team captain this year. This is the first year we've done a team captain. She was unanimously voted in. Best season we've had. As a coach, done it for 19 years. This was the best, smoothest, drama-free season I've had. Maddie was a huge deal. She set the bar very high for the next captain that comes in. They were in sync all year. Maddie led us in assists. She had 227 assists, and that was 5th in 3A, the Class 3A. Livy's a junior. She was all conference, all-state tournament team, mostly from Maddie's assists, but she had 225 kills, and she had a 245 hitting average. Her big was she led us in digs with 501 digs. She was 2nd in Class 3A for her digs. We had big, as being setters, tell them all the time, setters really can't have a bad day. They got to know, they've always got to move to the ball. They got to know how the hitters like their ball set, everything else. Like, y'all got to be there and be present the entire time. And so they did. They showed up all year long. We went to state, got knocked out first round, but they really contributed to a very good culture that Salem started up. So I'd like to thank them.
Greyhound football, they had a lot of fun this year, you know. They had a lot of fun. Coach Josh Watson with Elijah Romine and Nick Ortiz.
Start off, thanks for having us here again this year. I think this is our 3rd or 4th year coming up here. We appreciate y'all including us. These two guys right here are part of a group of seniors that have led Salem football since I took over in 2020, the COVID year. We won the junior high conference with these guys when they were 9th graders. This year they led us to an undefeated regular season and a conference championship, the first ever in 3A for our school. And they led us into the quarterfinals, which is the furthest the school's ever been in 3A since we've been in 3A, where we lost a tough game to a team, a very good ball team. But I'll start with Nick. Nick's on the right over here, or y'all's left. Nick has been a leader for us offensively and defensively for 2 years. Nick Ortiz, if you'd have told me in the 9th grade that he would be a fullback and the type of fullback that he was by his senior year, I told you were crazy. 9th grade year, we couldn't hardly get him to hit anybody. And then he turned into probably one of the toughest fullbacks I've seen. And it shows, his stats don't necessarily stand out as a fullback. It's sort of like an offensive lineman in our offense. They don't get the ball just a whole bunch. I think he ran for 250 yards. But he did the little things that go unnoticed by a lot of people. That's offensively and defensively. He got us aligned right. He knew what he was supposed to do. He knew what the others in front of him were supposed to do. And it's that type stuff that wins you ball games. The kids do the little things that go unnoticed. Type of player he was, though, you know, he was a blocker on a fullback in our offense. He kicked out most of the time, led up on linebackers. He led us in an offense, ran for 4,100 yards total rushing over the season. We had 2 guys who rushed for over 1,000 yards in our offense and another one that rushed for 600. So Nick did a great job. We're definitely going to miss Nick's toughness next year. Now Elijah over here on your right. I think this is Elijah's 3rd year coming up here with me, is that right? You know, Elijah's moved up to varsity for us midway through his 9th grade year, I think week 5. He moved up, he led us in rushing his freshman year. He led us in rushing again his sophomore year, even though he tore his labrum in the scrimmage against Highland that year. Played the whole season with it and had surgery after season. He led us in rushing again his junior year and led us in rushing this year. So he's been a great player for us. Elijah has overcome many obstacles in life and grown into an outstanding individual on and off the field. Both these kids have. My little girl, 6-year-old little girl, absolutely loves these 2 guys, even if they do play with Barbies in her room sometimes. But on the defensive side of the ball, team's game plan to go away from Elijah. Offensively, he has been the guy to stop for 4 years. Not many have. He's rushed for over 5,000 yards in his high school career. He had over 1,800 yards this year rushing on 220 carries, which is over 8 yards per carry. He had 26 touchdowns. And that just speaks of what he does on the field. He's a great guy in the weight room, a great guy in the locker room. And he's done a lot for us. He's probably going to move on and play college ball somewhere. He's taking a visit to Evangel next weekend. But both these guys right here, just what we want out of Greyhound football. Both of them represent our program on and off the field very well. Thank you, guys.
We're going to go to Oregon County now. Bobcats and head coach Briar Hancock and players Rowan Spencer and Mark Spencer.
Again, just like everybody else has said, thanks for having us. This is my 3rd year here, 2nd as a head coach. So I've been with these guys, you know, since their kind of JV days. Rome was fortunate enough not to play JV for us, but Mark, you know, played my first year in JV. So I'll start with Mark. He's the shorter one here of the 2. So when I first met Mark, you know, kind of a story that I always like to tell. We had a pretty rough practice in an individual, and we went to team, and I looked over at Mark, and he's just smiling from ear to ear, grinning. You know, we kind of worked it out of him for a little bit, came back smiling. We get back up to the coach's office, and I asked Billy Weber at the time, who was the head coach. I said, "What's wrong with Mark?" And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "He has a smile on his face every single time I see him." He said, "I don't know." But you know, that kind of became apparent throughout the years I got to coach him, is that he truly did love the game. Another story about Mark that I know he gets tired of hearing. We get rolled in to JV season, my first year coaching. We roll into Mountain Grove, 12 people deep, 12 players deep. Get off the bus. And at that time, we had no special teams with these young guys, none at all. So I'm drawing up on the board before we get out there, you know, who's going to play where for us on special teams. And I look across the room and I said, you know, who can kick for us? Mark raised his hand. I said, okay. So I put Mark up on the board. Said, who can punt for us? And Mark said, I can punt too. Needless to say, you could do neither of those 2 things. Could not punt, could not kick. That's just who he is as a player. You know, just always wanted to help us win. And Roman's no different. going back, sorry about Mark. Mark had 1,382 rushing yards this year, averaged 7.4 yards a carry, 288 receiving yards, and 18 total touchdowns. When his brother went down, we kind of had to move him around offensively, trying to get him open, trying to get guys out of the box, and he did a terrific job for us, defensively and offensively. He was a first-team all-conference linebacker, first-team unanimous all-area running back, first-team all-area linebacker, all-district linebacker, and second-team all-state linebacker. And for our team awards, he got the Banquet Award, which is our highest honor for the team. Rowan has been a 3-year starter for us at corner. Played a receiver for us. Unfortunately, he was hurt in early week 3, which put him out for the remainder of the regular season. But he came back in the first week of districts, and it kind of felt like we had our identity back as a team. Did a tremendous job for our younger guys. Playing 4 freshmen and 4 sophomores at the varsity level. You never really know, early in the year how it's going to all pan out and work out. But these 2 guys, you are who your seniors are, and they did a great job just holding the standard of what we wanted to be as a football team. And lastly, I want to thank Kim for letting me coach your boys. It can be hard sometimes, and but they were a joy to coach, and we're definitely going to miss them next year. Thank you.
Well, now we're going to shift to coaches of the year and also the players. Okay, we're going to do the players of the year, player of the year for volleyball, coach of the year for volleyball, and we'll follow that with football. First of all, we have so many outstanding players participating in attendance here tonight. But I got to say, when you want to give somebody something a little bit special, you hope you got it right, and then you hear something that kind of confirms that you probably did make the right decision in this particular case. To say that this young lady is one of, and she may have said the best player that she has coached in the course of time over the years in a program which has been outstanding every season. And that is hard to do. It is hard to win games. It's hard to win big every year. But this program did that this year once again. And she joins a line of players from this school that we have honored in this way at this particular banquet over the last 9 years. So, our volleyball player of the year for this year from Liberty High School, Bree Daniels. By the way, after you get something up here here at the end of it, if you want to hang around and take pictures, that's fantastic. You'll have some space up here in the front to do that. So we'll tell you what, we'll get a photo with you here when we're all done and get her done there.
Oh, I had her.
Well, of course you did. I know you did. That's why I'm trying to explain to her that that's not required. She can go back and sit down and not be put on the spot by some people. Holy cow. Yeah. Okay. On to volleyball coach of the year. We've had coaches that have been our coach of the year multiple occasions. I believe this is the first time that she becomes a multiple award winner for us. A lot of good teams this year. A lot of teams won 20. Her team won 26. Went on to the state quarterfinal round in Class 3 before they ran into a buzzsaw called Clever.
But a great year for the Mountain Grove Panthers and their head coach, Ashley Martin. And by the way, if you do win an individual award at the end of this, please come up front. We'll get some photos with you that we can apply to our website for all of that. Okay, so football is next, and let's start with, we have 2 players of the year.
Good make up our mind.
I said we'd never do that, and we've done it at least half the time that we've done it. I'm sorry, it's not, if you have a chance to honor more than one, we'll go ahead and honor more than one. Why not? If it's that hard to choose, and this year it was. 35 years that I've done high school football games. And in 35 years, you get to the point where you say, well, I've seen about everything. And of course, every year there's something happens and you go, well, I've never seen that before. Okay, our first player of the year, as his coach was talking about all the records that he established and all the recognition that he has deservedly gotten. I watched him play football last year, and this year there seemed to be something a little bit different about him. There's something a little bit different about being 6'6" and being able to go as high as you want to catch a pass. A lot of people can't do that. But I saw him this year catch a pass early in the season and turn on his heel and run past and leave in the dust, Coyote Roadrunner style. Defensive backs that probably thought they had an angle and that it wasn't going to be a big deal. Well, it was a big deal. A bunch of times. I have never seen a wide receiver as good as this kid in my entire life watching high school football around here. So our co-player of the year in football from West Plains High School is Mr. Briggs Houston. Thanks, Briggs. Okay, now our other player of the year, is it about 6:30?
Yep.
All right, we're doing good. Our other football player of the year. I did not realize until tonight that he has been coming to this since COVID. But I kind of wondered, what was it about his football team that made them so good? Because this year they sailed through the regular season undefeated, got in the state playoffs, won, and I thought it was going to take somebody pretty good to beat them, and evidently they ran into that. I believe it was Mansfield that they played up against. But anyway, this kid put up crazy numbers. Once I saw, when I asked his coach, I said, who would you have that you think would be a good player of the year candidate? And cha-ching, it came right back, and I started looking, I thought, yeah, that's pretty good. He excelled on both sides of the football, as his coach was talking about a little while ago, but obviously a high quality kid, and that's, that just makes us that much better. So I'm sure that he would tell you that his offensive line is the reason that he has had so much success over the last 3 years. You can't be great and run over 1,500 yards and not have great blocking up front. But tonight, let's shine the spotlight on our co-player of the year for high school football in this area, Elijah Romine from Simmons. And I mentioned the ribbons, didn't I? If you got a ribbon on the back of your chair, you get to take the centerpiece home, by the way. So if you did a little ribbon moving, that might have been pretty strategic. Or on the mat in front of you. On the mat in front of you. That's a big ribbon on the back of your chair. You're taking that home. All right, now our coach of the year for football. This team has really become a consistent winner. It was a good year for football overall in North Central Arkansas, for Highland, for Mountain Home, and for the Salem Greyhounds. The Salem Greyhounds hit the midway point, they were undefeated, and then they just kept on going. and they had a fantastic year. I believe they're 11-1 and a run into the state playoffs. And they obviously are headed the right direction under this guy's leadership, who has done a fabulous job in the time he's been there and shows no signs of slowing down. So our coach of the year for football from Salem High School, Josh Watson. Yep, we're essentially done. If you want to go up front, take some photographs, you're welcome to do that. I want to say thanks to Taylor Grubaugh, Chevy, Buick GMC, our platinum sponsor. Please take the program home with you and make sure to tell the businesses in your community. Thank you for